foot of the floor. Again, what is with the city with storing things where you can't find them? None of these cans were really salvageable. They're all just, rusted. But we found what every site needs to find is a bottle of Coke. A 1948 bottle of Coke. You can tell that because it has it on the bottom. It says 48. It was the hardest one I had to research. And we found Lydia Pinkham's Medicine, which this one got us on the CBC. that was my first public speaking experience. I got to go on the shore, along the shore with I can't remember her name. Very nice lady. We did 7 minutes talking about all the things we found. And she was particularly interested in this stuff. And this is from 1910, 1920. It's amazing what I've learned about bottles. I never experienced knowledge of bottles. But Lydia packaged her medicine in many different ways. And you can actually go back and find out through the different ways it corked, as in this one, and how at 14 and a half ounces in the embosher, you can find what year it was. So it was about 1910, 1915. So Lydia's stuff was used for, how does it describe? Suffering from an acute case of nervous prostration brought on by female trouble. And the remedy was Lydia Pinkham's vegetable compound. Or she was going to have to have a hysterectomy. That's rather drastic, I thought, but Lydia Pinkham's is still actually around. And they've done tests on this material. They found the vegetables she actually used were great for what was required. It's anti-inflammatory. A lot of plants that were anti-inflammatory. And so apparently she knew what she was doing. But it brings us on to bottles, and more bottles. We found countless bottles on site. Many inside the buildings, but lots on the grounds. Where the Imperial Theater and the bank meet, where we're putting the patio in, when we were getting the concrete footings ready, they came across a couple of bottles here. And it happened to be a day I was on site, it was raining, and they said, come on back here and let's see where they are. And I had my iPad and took some photos. And I noticed a little bottle, the back end of a bottle sticking out here, and pulled it out, and I pulled this out. And then I started digging and I found more bottles. I found 24 bottles. And they date from, let me show you. These are, we found a variety of bottles. One of the interesting things we found here is nothing is particularly recognizable. If you go on bottle history is very limited. If it was a name brand, you could pretty much trace it. But a lot of the bottles in this area of the world were imported. The Western United States and Western Canada, there wasn't much glass facilities. So a lot of the bottles came from East, or in this case, Germany. That is my uneducated, from what I've read, given the style of the way this was made. It's hand-blown. It has a blob top, which they call that. That means it was fixed after it was made, and hand-formed. This is called a, I can't remember the name of the kind of mold it is, but it was put into a mold and took 3 people to make this bottle. And it's asymmetrical. You can see the lines are not matching up. This is at the archives. I was looking out here. You can see how unique it is. It's very heavy glass. And from the people, from what I've read, it comes, and from a confirmation from somebody who knew things about bottles, it's from this period, 1890 to 1910. As I said, we found many of these bottles. This is another one, again, also probably from Germany. This is also a formed blob top, a little more delicate. And you'll find that there is no seam on it. It has a little impress on the bottom. I have a half dozen of these in perfect condition. They're beautiful. And here's another asymmetrical bottle. with a kind of a sloppy blob. It has a little drip over here and has an iridescent coating. But again, it's asymmetrical. You can see here it's a little slimmer there, and then it kind of dags in a little bit. But again, it's lopsided. It kind of wobbles a little bit. We found a lot of these things, and it's really kind of, I find it intriguing. But then we found these two. These two are just little gems. This is Cross and Company soda from Vancouver. This is a beautiful embossing on it. It has this unique top called a Riley stopper, which was invented in the 1880s and used through 1880 1900. And again, Cross & Co. is another one of these ones you can actually document because they made so many different bottles that you can go through and find out what year it was. And this was a 1900 bottle. This one is Fox Clam Tea, a product of Seattle. Clam tea. What is clam tea? Does anybody know clam tea? Clam tea is, as by description, is a spicy tomato sauce and clam juice, what we would call clamato. And what they would do is they'd take a pitcher or bucket of beer and they would pour this in and create what we call a red-eye, hangover cure. These two have ended up in the archives as well, so we don't have them here today, but if you want to go, just talk to Tristan. This is something we've been finding lately. This is approximation of the Lily's garage site on Princess. Lily's garage was a long-term dealer of cars and mechanics, and they were back on Princess. And we found paper, which is unbelievable. We found existent paper. This comes from the 1915s to 1920s. It's a tire kit in paper. This should be rotten, but now this one here I'm really curious about, and if anybody knows anything about tobacco stamps, please come and tell me. It has a 1915 series stamp, and I don't know how long that was in circulation, but I can't imagine this is a box from 1915.